Hi, I'm David P. Weber. I am an associate professor here at Oregon Law. I'm just joining this fall, and I'm going to be teaching contracts, amateur sports law, professional sports law, and negotiations this upcoming year.
Will you give us a brief summary of who you are and where you're from?
I come from Minnesota originally. That's where I was born and raised, and that's where I spent a lot of my formative years. I went to law school there. I went into private practice there in the Twin Cities. And then more recently, I spent a good chunk of time at Creighton University, where I helped to develop a sports law concentration.
What drew you to Oregon Law?
Opportunity. This is a wonderful university with a thriving sports program in one of the most beautiful locations in the country. And so when I think about what Oregon has to offer students, faculty, and the community, it was such a gem that was really what drew me in initially.
How did you become interested in sports law?
When I was in private practice, I had the opportunity to work with a couple of professional athletes at the Major League Baseball level and then one in the NBA. And that really piqued my curiosity because it was an opportunity to do law at a very high level, but in an arena that was so much more exciting than might otherwise be the case with some other standard business law types of fora. And so working with those athletes really opened that door for me. And then when I went to my former institution, I began to teach a sports law class there and then create a sports law concentration. And then now really growing a network so that students are able to get jobs in externship opportunities across the country, whether that's at the professional level, the international level, or at the collegiate level.
What makes for a good lawyer?
First and foremost, it's someone who is going to listen, really listen to what their client wants and what their client needs. It's also going to be someone who is diligent and pays attention to detail and puts a lot of care into that work, because at the end of the day, being a lawyer is a great responsibility. You owe your client so much because they are depending on you for some of the most significant changes in their life. And so to be able to provide that high level of counseling and advice, and sometimes to be able to challenge and tell them that maybe what they're thinking isn't the best course of action. So that strong moral and legal compass is also very important.
If you could be a track and field athlete, what event would you want to compete in and why?
I actually ran track and field in high school, and I specialized in the high and the low hurdles. So for me to be able to go back in time and run the high hurdles, the 110s, one more time like I used to be able to, would be an absolute treat, especially in a facility as beautiful and world-class as the Hayward Field. We are so fortunate to have that facility right out across the street, right out the door from us,